passion, that a dream. PTF is the team.
And it's show time. Welcome back to this powerhouse of an episode of PTF podcast, that is Part-Time Funkar, and I'm your host Rohan. And guys, I know I have been missing you all because it's been a while, but the winter season, things are getting cozier. So I thought in today's episode, let's bring in some heat. Guys, today's Part-Time Funkar guest that I have is a Bay Area powerhouse. I'm sure many of you already recognize her by her voice. But apart from the awareness of her voice or the sensational singing that she does, let me give you a quick little intro and then we move on to this one-of-a-kind performer. I'm talking about Shayanti Ghoshal, whom I would be referring as Shay during this conversation. And in today's episode, just to let you know, Shayanti herself holds a Sangeet Visharad degree. And apart from this, she is also a software developer. I mean, think of it, guys. Complex algorithms on one hand and complex rags on the other side. Like, how would a single same person be coding and solving difficult problems in software during the day, and then the very next day or the very next weekend you get into the performance mode? And believe me, if you haven't checked out her live performance, a 10 on 10, a 100 on 100 recommendation that you should very soon do. So in today's PTF podcast episode, I have the one and only powerhouse of talent, Shay, who's gonna get the introduction started. Shay, over to you.
गरज गरज आज मेघ घनन घनन छायो रे दमक दमक चमक बिजोरी काहे तेहर तू राज आयो रे गरज गरज आज मेघ घनन घनन छायो रे धमक धमक चमक बिजोरी काहे तेहर तू राज आयो काहे तेहर तू राज आयो काहे तेहर तू राज आयो रे.
Fantastic. I mean, I can't just stop hitting a huge round of applause for you.
Thank you.
But this is phenomenal. So Shay, welcome to PTF podcast.
Thank you so much.
Today's conversation is going to be all about your singing magical talent that you have.
Thank you.
How did you get to this? And for our, especially the Bay Area audiences, if there are any, upcoming singers or anyone who literally feels that they want to start getting into singing, some, notes of wisdom or experience that you would like to share, right?
Absolutely.
So starting with the very first note that I would love to understand, you come from a very unique blend of Bengali roots, which is so rich in culture and performing arts and stuff, and then an American upbringing.
Yes.
Right. So how has that journey been so far? And if you could let us know, like, whether there was one point or maybe one performance where you think, you know what, things are clicking now, I can feel the mix of both, like.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much, Rohanji, for inviting me to your show and for having me on this platform. I really appreciate this. And I'm so glad I get to talk about this so that whoever's listening, if you're a singer or a dancer, hopefully once you hear this, you'll have a bit of inspiration to try and put yourself out there and pursue your passion. So to answer your first question, I do want to say that it's not easy being born and raised in America, but then having Indian roots and especially Bengali roots. But a lot of the credit goes to my parents, especially my mom. She has made it so easy for me. Yes. She's really helped me with diction, emotion, feeling while singing. And she grew up in Madhya Pradesh. Mm-hmm. And so her Hindi is very, very eloquent, I would say. And so she has a lot of knowledge as to the background and the context of music and how lyrics are made, how they're written. She actually writes poetry herself. So wow. She has a lot of that knowledge. So I always ask her to help me out, especially with ghazals too. Those are more of the difficult genres, I would say, because a lot of emotion, a lot of Urdu. So for that, of course, my mom helped me, and my Guruji Ganesh Swami. He's my Guruji still. I started learning from him since I was 8, and I continue to learn from him. Wow. And he's just everything I know, everything I've learned is from him and my mom. So yeah, it's navigating the whole. Having surrounding yourself with Indian communities, but then also being in the education system in America. Yeah. Obviously, there's the situation of the accent where I speak English with an American accent, but then you need to learn how to switch to a different accent when you speak in Hindi or sing in Hindi. So that in the beginning was a little bit tough when I was very young, but over the years it wasn't that much of a problem because we speak in Bengali in the household. Okay, I think that is a really good thing to do. Anyone who's born and raised here, whatever your mother tongue is, it's really good if you can speak it in the household. Nice. Because more likely than not, you're going to be speaking in English with your friends True. Here, right? So at least having that exposure to the mother tongue language at home is the best thing, I would say. And then, as I said, I started learning when I was 8. So right. Before that, it was always beautiful Robindra Sangeet songs. Okay. Very, like you said, very rich in culture. Yep. And not only would we sing as a group, all of us were the same age. We would sing, we would dance, we would recite poetry written by Rabindranath Tagore ji. And yeah, that's where it all started. So, got it. Yeah.
That's amazing. And so you have touched not only about how your mentor, Guruji, and your mom has been the guiding support, yes. but also you yourself taking this journey since the age of 8.
Yes.
What does it take for an artist to be consistent or disciplined?
So if you want to pursue the route of getting the Sangeet Visharad degree, that's a very good way to visualize your journey or your pathway of music. Of course, not necessarily everyone has to do that, sure. but for me personally, that was my experience. I started learning. My Guruji actually, we were able to skip the first 2 years because whatever he had taught me was already kind of the material that's tested on the first exam and the second exam. So thankfully, I'm so grateful to him for being able to do that. But he was able to let me move on to the third exam. So that's how I visualized it. Every single year that I learned from him, we would focus on the rags that were in the syllabus. Yeah. And then, of course, each rag takes a lot of time to understand, right? True. There are rags that are similar to each other. There are rags that are completely different. So learning the differences and the nuances that go in each rag was a bit difficult at first because there's just so much information. Right. And at that age, you're also learning in school, right? Right. So the older you get in school, the harder classes get too. So juggling all of that was a wonderful challenge that I would recommend for everyone to do. And that does give you discipline because all those 7 years, you need to learn the rags, you need to be able to perform the rags. Any question that the instructor will ask, the examiner will ask, you need to be able to answer those, right? Like basic information like rag, time of rag, the thought of a rag, the most frequently used swar of a rag. So these are all, and for that many rags, it's kind of hard to remember all of that, but that's what exams are, right? So, so I think that really brings the discipline in. If you don't pursue the degree route, you can still put the discipline in your work as long as you do Riyaaz every day. Like, even if you're not working towards a degree, you can still Riyaaz every day or every other day. Even for those who are very busy, I fully understand that one cannot always get the time to do it. But even doing like 30 minutes is better than nothing.
Sure.
Because your voice is a muscle, and if you're passionate about music, then Riyaaz should not feel like work. It should feel like meditation.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
So
got it. That's a fantastic answer. To follow up on the Sangeet Visharad degree, you have done it entirely while you have been here in America, right?
Correct.
So if you could give a little bit more of an information about the degree itself, so that the audiences can get awareness, and who knows, right? Like, some people have got certain myths or maybe some pre-assumptions that, oh, you know what, I'm here, how can I pursue a degree of that kind from wherever in India or any other place. So how about through your journey, if you could share, like, how did that go through?
Absolutely, yeah. So if I remember correctly, of the 7 exams, the last 2 exams are, I'm blanking on the names, but those are quite different. The format of the exam is quite different because both the last 2 years involve a singer giving a presentation. In addition to an exam where they ask you, sing this rag, sing a tan of this rag, or sing a tumri from this rag. In addition to that, you do need to have a 45-minute to 1 hour presentation of your rag of your choosing. And usually a tumri. I did tumris my last 2 years. And I would say tumri was a very difficult thing that I would encourage anyone to learn, because it's not straightforward. It's not something that you can just learn the mukra antra and all the other nuances in the song from a video that you can reference to. It's more of your own creation. Of course, there is a basic structure that you follow. There's hardly, I think, 4 to 5 lines. But then how do you make that from 4 to 5 lines to a full composition presentation? So that requires a lot of critical thinking, a lot of depth, and also discipline there too, because you need to follow the rag's structure. You can't break away from the rag. That'll make you lose points. So tumris, a rag of your choosing, that's slightly easier because if you've learned for 7 years, then your Guruji will have taught you how to sing a rag. How do you start a rag? How do you sing the middle? How do you build up? And how do you end? These are all things you start from the beginning.
Got it.
So, and then the 5th exam, the 4th and 5th exam, those I remember was a lot of essay writing. So essay writing.
Oh, interesting. Okay. What kind? I mean,
they would be on very, very important figures in history, musical history, like Vishnu Digambar Pulushkar, Bhat Khande. I can't remember his first name, but very important historical figures. Their biographies, achievements, what have they done to contribute to the musical system? For example, Pulushkar had a musical notation system that I think most Gurujis use. My Guruji used it. It was a way to denote what the note is. So if the note is flat, how do you what mark do you give to indicate that it's flat?
Got it.
If it's in the upper octave, how do you indicate that it's upper, not lower, right? So those notation systems are very important. And then there is Bhat Khande system as well, which we didn't use, but that's good knowledge to have.
Right.
So yeah, essays on that. I can't remember exactly what the questions were, but they were long essays that we had to write. It was a 6-hour exam.
Oh, wow. 6-hour exam.
6 hours, because on top of essays, we had also general knowledge, like definitions, or trick questions and stuff like that. So at the end of 6 hours, our hands would be cramped. And back then we were not really using laptops as much as writing essays in school.
Right.
So it's still easier. I remember an uncle who I knew very well, a family friend, he took the exam with me.
Okay.
And he was more used to typing for his job.
I see.
He wouldn't write as much. So after 6 hours, poor guy, he was really just struggling with that. So, but he did it, and we all did it. So,
Nice.
and the relief that we felt, after the 6 hours exams, it was just amazing. We felt like all this knowledge we have, and we're going to use it for the rest of our lives. But so that was it gets harder. First 3 exams is basic, kind of easier stuff. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, it definitely ramps it up.
Got it.
So,
Got it. Okay. So now that we have got to know Shay's journey of 7 years and then getting the degree of, Sangeet Visharad, Shay, I would now like to move towards your interests, right? Like in singing, what genre is your personal favorite?
That's a great question. Because as I said in the beginning, any of us who are born and raised here, we have an exposure to so many genres, right? So now it's hard to pick, but back then I would always prefer Western pop music, English songs,
Right.
Because that's what we would hear on the radio, and our friends, we would be bonding together over songs that just came out.
True.
I remember Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, who else? Beyonce, any of their songs that came out like in the 2010s era.
Wow. Okay.
We would be in school and we would just be, bonding and playing in the playground and singing those songs. So that was my favorite. And when I started learning at 8, that was something I felt that I needed to do, because my mom explained she basically told me that this is a rich art. Indian classical music is something to be worshipped and treated with respect and discipline. At the age of 8, I listened to her, but I didn't see the benefits right away, right? Which is at that age is understandable. So it wasn't until later that I started appreciating Indian classical music more. I would just sing, go to class, do the homework that my Guruji would tell me to do. But then I would, as soon as I was done, I would move on to practicing English songs, pop music.
Okay.
So
if you could, go on with one of your favorite English songs from that time, that would be awesome.
Sure. Yeah. So this is Halo by Beyonce. I hope you like it. Remember those walls I built? Baby, they're tumbling down. They didn't even put up a fight. They didn't even make a sound. I found a way to let you in, but I never really had a doubt. Standing in the light, oh halo, I got my angel now. It's like I've been awakened. Every rule I had you breaking. It's the risk that I'm taking. I ain't never gonna shut you out. Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can feel your halo. You know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more. It's written all over your face. Baby, I can see your halo. Pray it won't fade away.
Wow. I mean, you are a literally 5-star performer.
Thank you.
I must say this.
Thank you so much.
So Shay, when you bring in that performance and, like I have also personally seen the aura that comes.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the performing side as an artist, because, one thing that until now that I have heard is about, the Riyaaz, the homework, the practice, that everything which helps you build the foundation, the block, all happens, probably at your home or your studio, wherever you're practicing.
Yes.
But then how is it when you kind of perform, like in front of an audiences or in a recording studio?
Yeah. So I would say when you perform in front of a big audience of about for example, 400 people, that's pretty intimidating. And anyone can get nervous while doing that. So for me personally, it's taken some time to really, really feel confident while singing, knowing how to present yourself. That's not always easy to do because when we practice at home, it's one thing, right?
Yep.
When you're sitting with your tanpura and just like letting yourself sink into the meditation mode or like practicing the notes and everything, that's completely different because you're by yourself, you're focusing on correcting mistakes and getting better. But when you're in front of an audience, you're gonna make mistakes, but no one's gonna know that.
Right.
So learning how to act as though whatever you're doing is like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
That's for me, that was a little hard to do. You could see it all over my face when I messed up. My mom would tell me backstage, like, you need to calm down, put a smile on your face, and go and do it again. So, but I appreciated her doing that because that's how you grow, right?
True.
That's how you get better and better. So, I don't want to say that I know how to perform or if I'm any good at it, but I will say that I work really hard to try to present myself in a way that is hopefully visually aesthetic for the audience, because they're listening on one hand, but they want to see someone who's having a good time on the stage, right?
Exactly.
Right? Like, for example, any song like Maya Maya or Muskane, these are songs that if you are just singing, the audience is not going to enjoy it.
True.
They might zone out. They might drift into a conversation or something.
Yeah.
What you want to do is sing the song and make them drive their attention towards you, right?
Yep.
You want to sing in a way that grabs their attention and maintain that. Grab their attention and keep it.
True.
And so to do that, you don't just sing, right? You got to emote. You got to feel the song. There's so many vocal techniques that if you've learned as a singer, you should use those to emote different emotions.
Yep.
So, and just like basic, like, interaction with audience. That's also very important. As a lot of people know, that's kind of a given, right? You don't just sing. You try to make the performance more than just a song.
Yep.
Add some games in there. Make the audience sing with you.
Right.
Of course, it's not always easy because when you're charismatic naturally, that's easier. But when you're someone who's maybe introverted or more wanting to keep to the singing itself, it's a little harder to step out of that bubble. But with time, with practice, it can happen.
Awesome.
So,
Do you identify yourself as an introvert or an extrovert?
Introvert all the way.
Okay. Guys, believe me, when you see her on stage, you would say, no, she's lying.
That's a huge compliment. Thank you.
Of course. And now coming to the performance part, if you have been around, the live concerts that happen in the Bay Area, Shayanti is a popular voice to be an opening act for many of the renowned singers across multiple industries.
Thank you.
So, do you remember like the very first time when, you were approached by maybe like an event company or any, management team that, hey, you know what, would you be interested to perform for XYZ singer? And how was that?
That was the first time, I believe, was I actually shared the stage with Usha Uthup when I was 8 years old. 2008. I was 9 at the time. I didn't open for her, but I sang with her. That was my first experience. It was wonderful. I mean, when I look back on that experience, I wish I could tell myself that look at who you're performing with and take advantage, seize this opportunity, learn as much as you can, and just be aware of how amazing this is. Right. Unfortunately, at the time when I was 9, I didn't know much about Usha Uthup. I didn't know her songs very well. I never sang any of those back then. So my mom would tell me something, but me personally, in my own mind, I would be like, oh, okay, this is a huge singer, but I don't know their songs that well. So it was more of an opportunity to sing with a huge star and then leave the stage. But if I could go back, I would have been freaking out, you know? So, that was an amazing experience. As far as opening for celebrities, that happened later on with the Guru Randhava.
Okay.
So, that was 2000. 19,
Okay.
summertime. He had come. I forgot which venue. It wasn't Oakland Arena, but
Okay.
San Jose SAP Center, I think. So he was there. So that was a wonderful experience as well.
Right.
It's hard to compare singing with a singer,
Sure.
like Ushautub, versus opening, for one, because the audience is mainly there for the celebrity.
Yes.
Right? So you won't face the same audience that you normally face in a stage show or a performance that you're doing for a fundraiser. An opening act is tougher, in my opinion.
Right.
Not to say that you shouldn't do it. It's just it's more challenging.
Or responsibility wise.
More
maybe.
yes, more responsibility. There's a responsibility to not sing at a certain level higher than they want you to. They have certain restrictions.
Okay.
Even I remember seeing a interview with Jonita Gandhi. She was also explaining how opening acts sometimes their decibel levels are lower. They're sometimes not allowed to utilize certain parts of the stage, which is understandable because it's the celebrity show, right? So, but as a singer, that can feel a little frustrating. So back then in 2019, I had a great time, but I did notice these things.
Right.
So, and then later on, like we opened for Anupam Kher,
Okay.
Sara Ali Khan. Similar experiences for
Nice.
sure, because again, the audience is waiting for someone.
True.
So you don't want to be, hogging the limelight,
Sure.
and stalling the celebrity. That's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
So, but wonderful, really great opportunities. So,
Nice. And with the recent, line of events happening across the Bay Area,
Yes.
especially, and across US, do you think compared to maybe, I would say pre-COVID era, lately there has been a good number of these kind of opportunities showing up?
Yes.
Yeah.
You mean for opening for celebrities?
Opening for celebrities, or even just in terms of like performances or live concerts happening, do you
Right.
think that's has like started to grow, or is
Definitely.
it more of a audience who is now showing up even more to such types?
I believe so. Pre-COVID, I was living in Roseville, so I was kind of an outsider in the Bay Area. I would look in from a third eye, but I would notice that there was a lot of events happening. Then COVID happened. Now, when you look at like from 2023 onwards, I do think that, especially right now, 2025, I believe there's a lot more events happening, a lot more shows, a lot more celebrities coming in. Instant Karma, I'm sure you've heard.
Yep.
They do a fabulous job at any event that they do. They've brought in so many celebrities.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's been going on. Right now, it feels like, in a good way, there's like event after event after event, which is
Nice.
awesome.
Right.
I mean, I love seeing singers who did not do stage shows before, but now they're doing it.
Yeah.
And I love that. I wonder if that has something to do with them watching stage shows and thinking, oh, I'd like to do
True.
something like that.
True.
And I love seeing that. I love watching them take the next step and then putting the work into a stage show, all of that. It's not easy. Not everyone can do it.
Sure.
But when they do that and it's a successful stage show, it's just a wonderful thing to see.
Awesome.
So I want to see more. Like I want
Right.
more singers to do their own stage shows and open for celebrities.
Fantastic. Any dream collab that you are envisioning or manifesting?
I've always wanted to, like, I've been manifesting doing something with Shayanti Ghoshal. She's like my idol.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to tell myself to try to sing like her. And some people would be kind enough to say that, oh, you kind of sound like her.
Yeah.
But, people's voices evolve. I notice now I don't think I sound like her at all, in no way, shape, or form. But I still look up to her in terms of like, how does she treat music?
Yeah.
And she is so disciplined. She and, of course, many other singers
Sure.
in the Bollywood industry, they worship art, they worship
Yeah.
music, and they bring the creativity for us to learn. You know, it's not the other way around. We are not composing music. We're not given a song and we interpret that song. We're copying or learning from other people. So that's why I look up to her. She's just amazing. She's phenomenal, right? But I don't know, maybe somehow one day, I mean, I would love to see myself doing something with her. That would be like a dream come true.
Fantastic. As the Sanskrit word goes, tathastu. That means may that happen soon.
Oh, thank you. I hope so.
And we would love to, for sure, see you have a collaboration. And, it's a proud feeling, right?
Yes.
Like knowing someone who has worked their way towards that position. It's incredible. Do you call yourself as a composer as well, and have you been doing your own thingy as well in the
I've been working on original music, but I am not at a mindset or level yet to put it out there, because that's the very hardest step to take. Is we create and we put things together, but the very next step, final step of putting it out there, a lot of us get stuck, and I myself am stuck on that, because I tend to overthink a little bit. So far as far as lyrics, I'm constantly reaching out to mentors for guidance on how to make these lyrics more aesthetic and more poetic.
Right.
Because I'm not a writer. So whatever lyrics I put down on a piece of paper, it's just feelings and emotions, but that doesn't mean they're good, right? So to make it good, I need guidance on that. As far as composing, it's I've fallen into a trap where, has this melody already been taken before? A friend of mine is in a similar mindset. She actually puts music out there too. She's not trained, but she's so amazing to do that. And she has the same thing. Any melody she sends my way, and she's like, have you heard this before? I usually tell her like, no, I haven't, I don't think so. But that's something we fall, the trap we fall into. So no, I wouldn't say that I'm a professional composer yet. Maybe in a year or so, whatever I have right now, I will be able to put those out there, and then I can say that, hey, these are my works that I've been working on for years now, and it's finally out there. So not there yet.
Sure. And I know, I mean, it's a journey, right?
Yes.
And you keep exploring.
Yeah.
And coming to my next thing, most of us have a 9 to 5. So talking about that, like, how do you juggle both your worlds as a software developer and then a stellar performer?
Oh, thank you. It's definitely it's hard. It's not, I'm not gonna lie. You definitely have to pick a time to do your Riyaaz. Some people do morning. I myself do morning Riyaaz. But that can get a little exhausting, especially if you're working 9 to 5. Most of us usually have to stay back longer. There's a lot of tasks that need to be completed. We're not home until about like 6:30 or 7. So then either you're too tired to do Riyaaz then, or you're too tired to wake up early and do Riyaaz in the morning. So work can really stress you out that way. But learning how to balance it is like, you just... If you truly believe in what you're doing, it won't feel like work. I think I mentioned that in the beginning. Even if I'm tired when I wake up, like let's say 7 a.m., I'll feel tired for a few seconds. But then the minute I sit down and start singing and vocalizing, I don't feel tired anymore. Awesome. I feel like I'm doing something, I'm working towards something. Right. Like if I have certain things that I'm stuck on, a particular palta or a taan or something, this is my time to work on it. And in a week or so, or 2 weeks or so, if I don't do this Riyaaz, I won't improve, right? So that's my goal that I keep in mind, is this is good that I'm doing this. I'm setting aside the time for that. And then of course, morning, like it's better to do your practice then, because after work, your voice is too tired, right? So I don't recommend doing that. And then if you have like shows coming up, it can get stressful where you work all day and then you have to learn a song, rehearse, many rehearsals. It gets exhausting. But if you have your goal in mind and you know what you're doing, it won't feel stressful. It feels like you're doing something meaningful for yourself. So,
and singing versus listening to music, how is that? And maybe because I sometimes have a habit to, put in some music in the background while I'm working as well. Of course, when it's like non-meeting stuff.
Yeah.
So what's your, how's your preference in that? Like, are you a listener and do you enjoy?
Yes, definitely. I can't put music on while working. It distracts me too much.
Oh, I see. Because you come to that world where it might give you a quick rush of, okay, let's get on to this.
yes. And it's like, oh my God, light bulb moment, right? But I can't do that. I wish I could, because during work, it's like, if you have like maybe a tedious item, then it's okay. Then I can concentrate on the music and still do what I'm doing.
Sure.
But generally, like, I go on a lot of 2-hour drives because I used to live in Roseville.
Right.
So I go there pretty frequently. And whenever I do, there has to be music playing while driving. That's my time to like either listen or sing along with them. So the first song I sang, Garaj Garaj, that's a song that I have listened over and over again while driving, because the scale of the song is actually not my scale. It's D, which is very high.
Okay.
My scale that I sang was 2 to 3 semitones lower for now.
Oh, okay.
But when I'm driving and I'm listening to the song, I try to tell myself, why am I... this scale problem should not be a problem. If I want to sing in B, I'll sing in B. If I want to sing with the original, I should be able to do that. So just recently, actually, on my 2-hour drive, Garaj Garaj, I played at least probably 5 to 6 times back to back, because there's so many nuances. That's actually one of the more difficult compositions I've attempted. There's so much going on vocally, so many nuances in every line. So to do that without getting tired and listening to how he does, I forgot the original singer's name, but the way that he performs the nuances, there's actually there's different ways of performing tans.
Right.
Not a lot of people know that.
Okay.
You can sing tans with a lot of power from your diaphragm. Otherwise, some people sing tans more airy, more breathy, so it sounds different. They're singing the same thing, same notes, but very different ways of presenting. So the way that the original singer does it is very tough to do. A lot of diaphragm power. So if you're not from that gharana, then it's not easily, you can't easily attempt it. So that's something I've really just tried to listen to. Here and there I'll jump in and then I'll go back to listening. So yeah.
Awesome. And since you spoke about your playlists, would definitely like to know, and maybe we can pull out some secret playlist that Shay has. So what are your top 3 songs that I would say, maybe even if I check your playlist now, I would find those, like top 3?
Top 3. That's really interesting, because I listen to a lot of different types of music.
Okay.
I've actually listened to Spanish music more often than not.
Okay.
Like Spanish reggaeton. So that's something I enjoy listening to. I learned Spanish in high school and college.
Wow.
So that's always fun to listen to. Of course, there's English pop and Bollywood. So top 3 for that, I would say Suna Suna, Sonu Nigam.
Yes.
That's a song I love listening to and singing along with. There's a song by Shakira. It's called Soltera. I've recently been hooked on that song. It's really catchy. And the message also grabs my attention. She sings about women feeling powerful and being able to move on when they face hardships. So it's a very nice song. And then I would say there's a song called 1,000 Years by Christina Perri.
Yep.
It's a really kind of an old song, but it's so nostalgic for me. And I actually draw inspiration from the way that song is composed, lyrics-wise and music-wise and structure-wise. I want to be able to write a song that's similar to that with a very powerful message.
Nice.
So that's why I listen to that pretty often, even though I've heard it a million times now, because it came out like more than 10 years ago. But I'm still going to keep listening to it. So that's something, somewhere along the way, I'll bridge that gap and realize that, this is what I need in my song. So
love it. Can we get a quick Spanish version of any of your song?
Sure.
Please.
Yeah. There's a Spanish lullaby, which, I mean, if you're an ABCD like me, and if you're a 99 baby, you'll know this one because it's from the Cheetah Girls. so, hopefully I remember the lyrics. La nanita na na nanita ella nanita ella, mi niña tiene sueño, bendito sea, bendito sea. Fuentecita que corre, clara y sonora, ruiseñor que en la selva cantando llora, calla mientras la cuna se balancea. A la nanita nana, nanita ella.
Okay, I was just not only listening to it, but here's the thing, right? Like I don't know Spanish. One thing that I have experienced again and again, music is not bound to any language.
Right.
And even if you had not told us about this being a lullaby, I was able to get that kind of a warmth feeling. But this is excellent.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you.
So coming to your various languages that you speak, various genres that you sing, and so many things, and at the same time you are into your 9 to 5 as a software developer. So we have kind of like touched your at home version. We have seen the at stage version. Now talking about your social circles, right? Like with your friends or your family or maybe your colleagues, when they get to know, I mean, for the first time, like let's say, for example, if I'm your colleague and I just got to know that you are a phenomenal singer, what kind of reactions or how do they perceive you? Like, what's the social feeling like?
I mean, it's amazing. People have been very kind to me, and I'm so grateful for everyone encouraging me. If I were to, I actually have a colleague named Sam, and when I first showed him a video of myself singing, he was impressed, and he really appreciated that. We both are born and raised in America, so he was very intrigued as to, how are you singing this type of singing in this language, and so now he keeps on, as a joke, we keep saying that, okay, I'm gonna teach you Indian classical music now, which, I mean, he can attempt it, but it's harder for it's a little harder for people without an Indian background. So, but yeah, it's amazing. People have been kind enough to give me opportunities. When I sing Usha Uthup, for example, they'll give me huge compliments in that they'll say, "Oh my God, you sound just like her." I know I don't, but to hear that is just, it makes me feel very, very just happy about everything. And when I see in social circles, whenever I meet someone who's also a singer, like a professional singer, I'm always ready to just get into a conversation with them and understand how they perceive music, how did they treat music growing up, especially with female singers, because with male singers, they're obviously their voices are full octaves below, so it's harder to compare with their journey and all that. But with female singers, I love learning about their scale, their range, what other techniques can they do. I've always wanted to meet a fellow singer who can do whistle tone. That's a vocal technique that I don't think, I don't know if anyone in the Bay Area so far can do. Because it's if you don't know whistle tone, it's basically the highest note in the register of a voice. So both men and women can do it. But it's easier for women, I've heard, because their voices are already naturally in a higher register. It's something that your voice, your throat basically closes up enough that a little bit of air escapes, and that air is a high note in the highest register. So singing a whistle note, once you perfect it, you can go on for a while because you're not using much air when you do it. So it's a wonderful skill to have. I haven't yet come across anyone who can do that. And I myself am trying so hard, feeling frustrated, and then, you know, feeling like victorious one day, but I'm not there yet, but trying to learn it. But yeah, so that's really grateful for the support that we all receive, all the singers in the Bay Area. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's a great flourishing community as well as a very supportive one.
Yes, absolutely.
And coming to your own individuality, right? As a person, after, you know, like tapping across various sets of people or cultures and the different genres of, for example, music that you touch, what is one thing that gives you a feeling of content that, oh, today this was actually the level of or a kind of performance that I was looking for, and yes, I finally achieved it. Is there a, like, in bits and pieces, is there a feeling of content that comes, or is it that, no, I still need to do this, or is it more of that kind?
Yeah. So recently, I'm actually glad you asked that question because recently there was a performance I did, a song that I did, Gia Re Gia.
Wow.
And it's a song that a lot of us have been singing for a while, especially female singers. But I was very, very happy with after the performance because it was just me and a guitar player, Sakit Mahajan. He did a fabulous job on the guitar. It was just guitar and just me. So I didn't expect any audience reaction to that. But they seemed to, I think they liked it just because we completely changed the song in the sense that the song is really upbeat and there's a lot of music in there. A.R. Rahman, of course, right?
Yeah.
But we just had the guitar, and with vocal wise, I didn't want to just sing the song and that's it. I wanted to give a bit of Western feel to it, plus Indian classical feel. So that balance and that presentation of going from one side to the other side and then going back again. I don't want to say that I did a good job, but the audience seemed to really, they understood what I was trying to do. So for my beginning alap, it was something I did where I started with a very classical way of starting on alap. But then in that breath, I switched from that and then went into vibrato and did like a Western riff. So, and then I continued to do that for a little while longer. And I think the audience was like, oh, are you singing Western style? Are you doing a classical piece? So I think they really liked that kind of interesting way of doing it. And then at the end, I had this whole section where I tried to do some of my own creations, which was, I think the length also mattered. It wasn't just a little bit, it was just musings, just things in my head that I wanted to sing for the audience. So they appreciated that a lot. And then at the end they stood up, which was a wonderful feeling for anyone, right? So that was, I think I felt this level of content before too, but this was different because it wasn't just me singing. For example, Mere Dhol Na Sun. If you were to sing that for an audience, most likely they will appreciate you. They will stand up, but it's not the same because someone already sang it, right? Shayanti Ghoshal already sang it. But when you do something that's 2 minutes of you doing whatever you want, and it's you'll make mistakes, but the audience, if they're listening to you and they appreciate you, it feels like you're being, like your work is being appreciated, your own original work. So yeah, that was a wonderful feeling.
Fantastic. Nice. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
So let's come towards the end of this episode, and with that I would definitely like to do a quick checklist from a seasoned singer like you.
Thank you.
This checklist is essentially for someone who is just getting started or is, right now watching this podcast and thinking, you know what, I think she has really inspired me and let me give it a try. So here are the questions, and you can just answer it like in one word or as soon as you can. Can anyone be a singer?
That's a very good question. I don't want to be too negative. Yes, anyone can be a trained singer. Yes, I strongly believe that. Because a lot of people think if you're tone deaf or you don't have that sense of style, you can't be a singer. But you can put in the work. I believe that people who may be tone deaf, they can work on it. It might take years. It's not going to happen overnight. But I strongly believe anyone, if you believe you can do it, you can do it.
Love it. Nice. Okay. Second, are there any specific rituals, maybe, dietary routines or something that a singer should adapt to in order to become better?
Yes. Definitely. They say to not, eat anything cold or anything like that. I stand by that. Try to stick to warm water, hot tea, try to stay away from sour things. And then milk also. Milk can make you a little phlegmy, is what I've noticed.
Okay.
So if you have a show, don't drink milk that day. And then as far as taking care of your voice, of course, there's gargling. Inhaling steam water can also be really good for your voice. That's one thing I recommend doing. Exercising, it brings more strength to your lungs.
Yeah.
So naturally, that makes you stronger when it comes to breath control for singing. And just like remembering not to damage your vocal cords. There's a way of talking that I haven't adapted, but I would tell other people to do. Basically, you don't want to stick to your chest voice when you talk. For example, Ariana Grande, when she talks, she speaks in a few semitones above. It's not singing, but she's talking higher. And apparently that protects your vocal cords. So, I mean, not to say that you have to do all these things, but just keep in mind if you want to do that. So.
Nice. And then third is, how much time on a daily basis, if consistently someone has to dedicate for a beginner, how much would that be, like for Riyaaz or just training?
I would say 2 hours. Yeah, which it might seem like a lot. It is. But to get that basic sur tal sense, if you don't already have it, you should put in that time. So
2 hours. All right. Fourth is, as a singer, is it better to first come to a degree of singing? Degree, when I say, is like the quality of singing, with your foundation, your basics solid before you start performing? Or can someone, maybe, they feel that they are an above average singer and they can still perform?
I don't think there is any level that you have to get to do a stage show or performance. Because what I see in the Bay Area, people kind of look down upon those who aren't trained. Or they categorize, they say, this person is trained, so they're above. This person is average because they're not trained. I don't agree with that, because singing should not be something that's so harsh like that. It should be something that brings you joy. So if you're not trained, that doesn't mean you have any less right to sing or perform. Of course, I mean, there should be awareness. There should be, if you know that you might not have a good voice, that's different. But anyone who does truly believe that they can sing or they want to sing, they should sing it to express themselves, not to compete or, because there's competitions out there. That's when you have to realize if you're trained or not, or good or not. So, but yeah, anyone who loves singing, I encourage you to sing, please.
All right, awesome. So all you bathroom singers there, kidding,
especially you, all of you who believe you are bathroom singers, please come out, sing for us.
Yeah. So Shayanti, it has been a fantastic and a very enlightening conversation, I would say. I have learned a lot.
For me as well.
And I'm sure from the audiences who are really looking forward to singing, as a part-time, either a hobby or a passion, can definitely pick a lot of things. But I also know that you are into teaching.
Yes.
So if you could let our audiences know if someone wants to get connected, or if how does the teaching go, and what are the upcoming gigs that you are gonna have very soon?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I just want to say that I do teach music. It's not just Indian classical music. I teach all genres. For the genres I don't know as much about, I will still help you and guide you, but primarily Indian classical music, Western pop, Western classical, folk songs, Spanish songs. These are things that if you have the interest in it, I will help you with that. I usually teach online. So if you prefer to learn over Zoom, that's probably the best option because all of us work, right? 9 to 5. So it's generally harder when we do in-person classes. But if a student is ever interested in doing in-person, I will, of course, try to accommodate that. I'll do my best to do that. But yeah, so as far as if you want to learn from me, you can reach out to me on any social media platform. I'm there on Instagram, Facebook. On Facebook, you'll find my email and my number. So it's there if you want to reach out. Generally, like if you're part of any groups on Facebook, like Bay Area Desis, there's groups like that. So I'm on there as well. So if you want to reach out, my name is Shayanti Ghoshal. That's my name on Facebook too. So yeah, if you want to learn from me, let's connect and let's have a good time.
Love it. And definitely, I would be putting in all the modes of connections for Shay into this YouTube description. So definitely check that out. And yeah, feel free and get connected. And with this amazing episode of PTF podcast comes to an end. But here's the surprise for you guys. We are not ending it in the conventional PTF style as I leave a, closure note. Here's what we have. I would request Shay to close this episode with Maya Maya, if you could like to sing that for us.
I would love to sing that.
All right,
Thank
let's
you.
do it. Shay, over to you.
Thank you. तू नील समंदर है, तू नील समंदर है, मैं रेत का साहिल हूँ, मैं रेत का साहिल हूँ, आगोश में ले मैं तेरे से प्यासी हूँ एक सौदा रात का एक कौड़ी चांद की चाहे तो चुम ले तू कौड़ी चांद की एक चांद की कश्ती में चल पार उतरना है तू हल्के हल्के खेना दरिया ना चल के मैया मैया गुलाबी तारे चुन ले सारे चुन मैया मैया कि जिस्म के दर्द के पर्दों के मोरे चुन ले मैया मैया ये ले लिया ये ले लिया ये ले मैया मैया हाय ले लिया ये ले हबीबी हाय ले लिया ये ले
Wow. This is a true part-time fun car. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
PTF is here to stay. Lighting up